Right now is such a crazy time in the world, and I think everybody is feeling that impact on some level. But you and former teammate Jonathan Stewart got together this week along with Convoy of Hope and Elevation Church to give back to those who are really feeling it the most. What inspired you to do that, and what was that experience like?
The goal is always to improve the lives of others and help out wherever we possibly can. Unfortunately, we're just in a tough situation right now where we're all being forced to stay at home and do things inside of our houses so that we're not becoming a part of the problem and spreading this virus. But sometimes duty calls, and you're called upon to do things that are unconventional given the circumstances. And we just answered the call of duty. We went out, we got the things that they were giving out, the food supplies, the different hygiene kits, and we were able to supply families that were in need right now in this crisis with those products.
And for you personally, what has COVID-19 been like for you, and how is that impacting your daily life? Are you even thinking about football right now? How are you training? Just all of that.
COVID-19 has definitely put us in a weird space. You kind of being stuck in the house like we talked about, but also from a job standpoint, from a football standpoint, just signing with the Washington Redskins this offseason and not having the opportunity to go visit the team, not having the opportunity, to really go up there and take the physical. Like it's a new world. It's a new space that we're all in as NFL players, and it's something that we're adjusting to. The teams are adjusting to, and we just got to understand as players that at some point it's going to come back around and time frame than we were expecting, but it's important for us to be pros at this point and take care of ourselves.
When you hear year 16 for Thomas Davis, is that hard for you to believe? What thoughts come to mind?
It's crazy to think that I'm getting ready to enter my 16th year into this league, knowing that when I first came into the league, my goal was to make it 10 years, hit the 10-year mark, but also, just dealing with the injury history that I had, the uncertainty after tearing my ACL for the third time. But, just to know that, I've been blessed to be in this position that I'm in, to, one, still have the opportunity and the ability to play, but two, to also still be wanted by a team, want my services to be wanted, is definitely something that I'm excited about. I'm looking forward to. If you would have asked me 2 or 3 years ago, would I have put on another uniform? My answer still to this day would have been no. But, now I'm getting ready to put on my third uniform in 3 years. So it's exciting. I'm still looking forward.
Going to Washington, you're reuniting with a lot of familiar faces, including Coach Rivera. How excited are you for that?
I'm super excited to be reuniting with Coach Rivera. I know him very well. He knows me very well. I know what he's expecting of players, and I know what kind of leadership he's going to give us. So I'm just really looking forward to being back with my guy, and hopefully going in and being a huge part of his success in Washington.
I think I read in an interview that you did, you talked about just the culture change that you expect him to come in and implement. What do you think year one for him will be like there?
I think year one is going to be good, because when you look at Coach Rivera and his coaching style and, how he operates, I think it's going to be really good for that team. When you look at their roster, they have a ton of really good football players, and Coach Rivera has a unique ability as a head coach to bring the best out of every player. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he operates with that roster.
And for you, what's left? What are some boxes that you want to check in your playing career?
For me, it's still that's chasing that pursuit for that Super Bowl ring, man. That's the reason why we continue to play this game. I know Washington has a lot of rebuilding to take place right now, but I feel like it's any given year you can be that team. And you look at the San Francisco 49ers and the season that they had before they actually made it to the Super Bowl this year. You know, they were a team that ended up with the #2 pick because, you know, they didn't have a very good seasons. And, you know, it's just all about putting the work in the offseason and coming together. And that's what they were able to do. And this could be that situation for us.
So when you take a minute and you look back at the 14 years you spent in Carolina, I think recently you posted the photo from All or Nothing, and it has like you, Luke Kuechly, Greg Olson, Cam Newton, Julius Peppers, Ryan Khalil. And now, after the most recent events here, no one from that era is left. Is that hard to believe? And when you think about those times, what comes to mind?
Man, it's shocking, honestly, when you think about, you know, the body of work. You think about what we were able to accomplish as a group. I know we didn't ultimately win the Super Bowl. You know, that's, like I said, that's the reason why you play this game, to win Super Bowl championships. And you know, unfortunately for us, it didn't happen. But when you look at that group and what we were able to do for this city, for this organization, I think that's going to go down in history. And to look back and think that it was just 2 years ago and none of those guys are there, I mean, I know the fans are disappointed. They've expressed that, but Mr. Tepper has a vision. He has a whole new outlook on the direction that he's going with the team. And, you know, I'm always be a Panther fan, and I'm going to continue to wish them well.
Overall, when you look at your football journey and you left Carolina, something you thought you would never do, what's it been like actually going and playing for other teams?
You know, it was cool, you know, having the experience to go and experience something different than Carolina. But at the same time, you know, going to a super extreme, you know, from East Coast all the way to the West Coast and playing for the Chargers. I mean, it was a good experience. You know, I fell into a good situation, being in a good locker room, having a good coaching staff, having some good trainers to take care of us. You know, unfortunately, we just got hit with the injury bug way too many times. We lost 9 games or something like that by 7 games or less. So, I mean, you know, it was definitely a learning curve, but it was an experience that I definitely appreciated being a part of, and looking forward to this new journey. My mindset each and every day that I wake up and I play this game, I don't ever want to be that guy that kind of held on too long. And when I look back at my experience with the Chargers, I feel like I was a productive player. I know that, you know, I was a difference maker for that team. And the coaches on the defensive side at least felt that way. So, I mean, I can take pride in that.
Definitely. I know I was looking at some of the stats, and your name is always, if it's not at the top, it's in the mix. So also to still be so productive, you know, at going into year 16, that says a lot about your play.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it just shows how much pride I take in playing this game. You know, I'm truly competitive at everything. You know, I love to compete, and I think that's one of the things that has allowed me to be able to continue to play at this level at this point in my career. So I definitely don't take it for granted. I wake up each and every day blessed and thankful for every opportunity that I'm presented with.